It's nice to be here today. My name is Gordon Erickson. I'm a executive for the Home Depot. And you're wondering why an executive from the Home Depot would be introducing Martha Stewart. There's no connectivity there, you must think. Well, that shows the brilliance of Martha and the brilliance of the brand. The challenge we had is how to connect 300,000 associates on a $70 billion company. How do you connect that to Martha Stewart? Well, Martha, about 2 years ago, came to us with an idea. And we kind of looked at that idea and thought, okay, that makes sense, kind of, but not in my watch. And we decided that that was an adventure that we wanted to take. 49% of our customers are female. They just don't stay in the stores long enough. So we decided that to venture with Martha, to take that program and do something with it. So my experience with Martha has been literally, utterly spectacular. Besides trying to convince the company that's more used to handling hammers and nails and lumber and building materials and a little bit of paint, we decided to venture into the decor categories with Martha. We put 14 categories, and we spent almost a year building what is today our most successful brand and our fastest growing brand at the Home Depot. Now that's our experience with Martha Stewart. I have a personal experience. I found her to be brilliant. I found her to be uncompromising. That's a nice way to say she's incredibly stubborn. I found her to care. I found her to put an apron on her and have her walk a Home Depot store is an incredible experience. We flew up and spent some time with her and got in a plane and went down to Nashville, Tennessee and walked stores with an apron on for a day. What an amazing experience for Martha to see our associates get excited about a brand that a year ago was not in the store. You talk about the Martha Stewart media empire, but more importantly, you need to talk about her. We find her to be engaging, we find her to be a true leader, and we are very, very, very excited about having her as one of our top brands in an environment that you would not think would happen. How do you take warehouse racks and create an environment that the female shopper would love to shop? With her help and her design help and our designers, we put a good program together. That's turned into a great program, and it's growing at a pace that kind of scares us at the Home Depot, but that's a good thing to have if you're a merchant. We're excited today to be here. We're excited to be responsible for that brand in our stores. We feel like caretakers of the brand. We compete with Macy's time for the brand, so thank you. We don't get enough of it, thank you very much, but that's okay. I'm really pleased to be able to be here today and introduce Martha Stewart.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Gordy. I'm waiting for my motorcycle ride. Gordy drives motorcycles, and he doesn't know that I love riding on the back of motorcycles. I actually have told him. But, and thank you very much, Terry Lundgren. It's fun to have two amazing partners here today to hear me speak. I mean, I don't think either of you have really heard me speak publicly. And it's a lot of fun to make this presentation to what I think is an extraordinary atmosphere, an extraordinary group of people, students who are so competent and learning so much. And thank you for the warm welcome. So I'm very excited to be with you today to be part of the 2011 Global Retailing Conference. This year's theme is very appropriate, inspiring innovation. And that really resonates with me and everybody who works with me at Martha Stewart Living on the Media. We're all about inspiration and innovation. We want to inspire our readers, our users, our viewers, our listeners with our creative content and our product offerings. And we want to do it in ways that are smart and engaging and extremely innovative. And we pride ourselves on thinking about innovation, thinking about inspiration each and every day. But before I talk to you about how we are doing all of that, about our designs for living and about the brand we are building at retail, I'd like to provide a brief overview of our company and all that we do and offer. Martha Stewart Living is a media company and an online and merchandising business encompassing 4 magazines: Living, Whole Living, Weddings, and Everyday Food, periodic special issues, and best-selling books. Since 1982, we've published 75 best-selling books. And our newest addition to the book world is a fabulous book that just came out and is number Pies and Tarts. It's our second new Pies and Tarts, and it is number 8 in the first week on the New York Times bestseller list. We're very proud of the record that our books have had. We have a daily block of television programming on Hallmark Channel, and including Martha Stewart Living for 1 hour, Lucinda Scala Quinn and Mad Hungry for a half hour, and we have Mark Marone with Pet Keeping. We also have Whatever with Alexis and Jennifer, Whatever Martha with Alexis and Jennifer, and Everyday Food coming down the pike. This block of television programming is very important in the building and maintaining and promotion of our brand. And we have a 24/7 satellite radio channel. It's just changing numbers. Sirius has just given us a new number 110 on Sirius XM, and we have been very proud of the programming that we put on that 24/7 radio station, and it is very well listened to. We have 4 websites, a growing number of digital apps. We were the first first lifestyle magazine to put up a full original magazine app on the iPad, working with Adobe and with Apple, and that magazine is really amazing. If you have an iPad, you can get that in the iPad store, and is now free. When it first came out, it was $7.99, and now it is free, and you should really take a look at it to see the kind of innovation that goes on at Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia. We have a broad range of merchandising product lines with leading retailers and manufacturers, including first and foremost Macy's and the Home Depot. Our media and merchandising businesses are distinct, but there is a tremendous synergy between them. We have built our merchandising business in areas where we have powerful brand equity, and that brand equity was established through our media platforms. We often say at our company, media leads and merchandising follows. Consumers associate our brand with cooking, crafting, decorating, gardening, weddings, holidays, and pets. We call those in publishing our core content areas. They have seen stories on these subjects in our magazines. They have searched our websites for recipes, craft templates, entertaining ideas, and they've seen me engage in these activities on our television programming. Our retail presence in these categories represents a very, very natural extension of the other businesses, and one that is experiencing significant growth. When developing new product lines, our greatest asset is our talented team of extraordinary designers, editors, cooks, crafters, decorators, gardeners, and more. Our creative headquarters is much more than an office, and people, when they come to visit, including lots of interns, and I want to talk to the students later on about internships, they're just amazed at what is going on. And people walk through the office and scratch their heads, especially like in the craft department or in the product development department, scratching their heads saying, they get paid for doing this? Well, yes, they do, and they create amazing results. To get a sense of our creative process, please watch this video. Today, our merchandising business is comprised of a diversified group of licensing partnerships, but that wasn't always the case. In the beginning, there was Kmart. In 1987, the mass retailing giant approached me with an interesting offer. They wanted me to assist them with design ideas for home products. At that time, Kmart was 4 times larger than Walmart and many, many times larger than Target. I jumped at the opportunity thinking that why shouldn't people who shop at mass market in those big boxes have as elegant and beautiful and as useful and practical products as anywhere else? As an advisor and spokesperson, I recognized the potential for a much expanded home products line that could bring high quality and unique designs to the mass market. I thought I could have a huge impact on the American home. In 1997, we launched our Martha Stewart Everyday Bed, Bath, and Paint collections at Kmart. And it got off to a really great start, and we had a lot of fun. Our paint collection evolved out of a decorating story in living, which was inspired by eggs laid by my own Araucana chickens, who lay blue and green and pink and khaki-colored eggs. My hen's eggs came in those gorgeous shades, as well as in delicate whites, rich creams, and subtle beiges. Because these colors didn't exist, we had to mix them ourselves. And our paint manufacturer at the time said, oh, we have all those colors in our library, but when we gave them about 500 colors, they could match only 10 in their library. So we knew we were on to something. We realized that our story wouldn't provide our readers with much service if they couldn't actually buy paints in these particular hues. So, of course, we did go about and create them. Our initial offerings at Kmart were well received. We expanded into everyday kitchen products, organizing products, window treatments, and a lot more. Today, many mass marketers have enlisted the help of famous designers to improve their product quality and style. But at the time, our Martha Stewart everyday products were revolutionary. We understood that mass market customers wanted these beautiful and well-made products in a full range of colors and patterns, and that's what we provided. Look at this early Kmart commercial. Right here in Arizona. We had a lot of fun making those commercials, and when we were up on top of those red rocks in Arizona, the wind came up so strong and bent all the metal poles in half. Luckily, we didn't get blown off the mountaintops. That was in I guess, Sedona, yes. At the same time that we were developing our product ideas for mass market, we were building our brand. We were also creating a higher end line of products via our Martha by Mail catalog and on our website, marthastewart.com. This was one of our most popular catalog covers. It's a very cute picture, don't you think? Well, the baby pooped in that bowl. I remember that clearly. After we took the picture, the baby was having a great time. But by listening to our customers, by focusing on their wants and their needs, we realized that many of our customers were having difficulty assembling various tools and ingredients featured in our pages in conjunction with various crafts projects and many of our cooking recipes. We realized it was time to extend our brand into actually designing and selling products that reflect the values and design vision expressed in all of our content. This was a groundbreaking notion in the media world. At the time, other magazines' merchandising efforts had been restricted mostly to books, videos, t-shirts, calendars, and other promotional materials that simply carried the publication's logos. We were determined to use our magazine stories as inspiration for our wonderful, innovative products, including modern versions of vintage jadeite glass, an innovative family tree a chart, and lots more. And of course, we had the American Society of Magazine Editors, ASME, to contend with. We had to be very careful not to step on editorial content with the development of these products, and that was just the kind of challenge we love and still love. What we brought collectively to the product design was not only style and taste, but also all that expertise that we were developing in our editorial departments. At our company, we develop recipes, invent craft projects, decorate rooms, and design wedding cakes every single day of the year. We live the life of our customers. We know what tools they want and they need because it's just what we need and what we want while we're developing all of this editorial content. That was true then, and it is still very, very true today. With any of our products, we ask ourselves, do we want it? If we don't covet it ourselves, it's not good enough for our customer. And what Gordy just said about me, being serious about all of this, very serious, is that, if I pick up a teacup and I can't put my finger in the handle of that teacup, I look at my designer and I say, can you put your finger in the handle of this teacup? And they say no, and I said, well, why would you want that handle? And that's how we go day in and day out. It is very important to satisfy the customer and give the customer what they want and what they need. To me, the customer is the all-important part of our business. We never want to disappoint. We never want to lose that valued customer. And I think our customers trust us. They never left me when I had my legal problems. They were staunchly supportive, and they are still today in buying all this amazing product that we design and manufacture with our superb retailing partners. Martha by Mail, the catalog for living, as it came to be called, was very much loved. And much of that product today is available when you go through the housewares department at Macy's. We're so proud of all that beautiful product, thousands and thousands of SKUs of excellent, usable, practical, beautiful product all throughout the Macy's stores. Here's a version of our pie chart way back when we were still at Kmart. 89% Kmart in product. That was our pie chart, and our pie chart really is a pie, just like our business chart when we put people in specific jobs. You know, they're always looking at who's here and who's there. It's actually a tree. I'm the beech tree, not the bitch tree, the beech tree. And that's the oldest tree in the world, and it's the mother of all trees, I found out when I chose the beech. I just happen to love beech trees. But it's a very specific title. So while Kmart had played an important role in helping us build our merchandising business, we were entering a new era that called for new strategic direction, diversification. And we had a wonderful furniture business with Bernhardt, magnificent furniture at reasonable prices. We had beautiful flowers program offering Martha Stewart inspired designs shipped directly from growers to customers. But we recognized that there was even a greater opportunity for us. We had commissioned third-party research to measure the health of our brand and identify new opportunities to grow our businesses. What we learned was fascinating and a real incentive to change our distribution model. There is enormous awareness of our brand. The research found that 96% of all women know Martha Stewart, and that finding held across geographic regions, ethnic groups, and socioeconomic groups. We also learned that consumers associated our products with that quality and style, which I was so very insistent upon. This raised an obvious question. Then why weren't more of them buying our products? According to the research, the answer was just as obvious. Nearly 1/3 of the consumers who were purchasing our product needed to find that product in stores that were conveniently located. It was clear we needed to redefine that strategy by diversifying our offerings. And this is our new really the steps up the retail ladder. And of course, we would use a wedding cake, tiered. High-end retailers, regional specialty stores, national specialty home chains, department stores, home centers, and mass market discounters. The truth was, it had never really been done the way we were doing it, from mass up the retail scale, and we really wanted to try it. Our company's new head of merchandising, Robin Marino, saw the opportunity when Federated acquired the May Company, opening the way for the first truly national department store, over 800 outlets in 49 states. Before joining MSLO, Robin had held leadership positions at Kate Spade, Burberry, and Polo Ralph Lauren, so she had a very strong background in luxury brands. But she began her career at Federated Department Stores and still had wonderful relationships with her former colleagues there. She reached out to them with an ambitious proposal to partner on a new home line that would deliver the aspirational promise of Martha Stewart living and be available only at Macy's. In September 2007, we launched the Martha Stewart collection exclusively at Macy's with a broad range of home merchandise, including bed and bath, dinnerware, flatware, glassware, and a vast assortment of cookware and utensils, and lots more. It was the largest brand rollout in Macy's histories. And we had all the windows on 34th Street, and we went and gazed at them each and every day. It was so much fun on the way to our offices on 26th Street. Macy's has the most incredible window design teams, and these windows were legendary. Many of the items in our Martha Stewart collection are based on treasures from my personal collections, reimagined in useful and clever ways. A rimmed white dinner set was inspired by the old creamware in my home in Maine, which is the left-hand picture. I call that my Great Wall of China. And I use that white china each and every day that I'm in Maine, and it has been redesigned to be sturdy, and it fits in the dishwasher. Very important for the modern-day consumer. The antique linens at my home in Maine and in Bedford inspired our very popular trousseau bedding collection at Macy's. This is extraordinary bedding for a very reasonable price. I can't believe the prices. They're not as good as those early Kmart commercials, $4.99 for a towel, but it's really excellent. And I, again, applaud the merchandising teams at Macy's who are able to produce in such quantity, such quality, at such great prices. My personal collection of antique quilts was very timely and was mined for great design ideas for our quilt collection at Macy's. I don't know if any of you read about it, but just last week at the Armory on Park Avenue, there was an extraordinary display of 601 quilts owned by a Joanna Rose, a benefactress in New York, but all her red and white quilts. Everybody was taking pictures. Everybody now wants quilts. And where can they get those quilts? Go to Macy's and see the Martha Stewart collection. Unbelievably luscious, beautiful quilts, again, at very good prices. Today, the Martha Stewart collection is the #1 brand in Macy's Home Story, offering beautiful products at attractive prices. We call this affordable luxury. And of course, we're not interested in resting on our laurels. We're constantly developing new, beautiful product designs and reaching out to consumers, sometimes in the most unlikely places. Watch this. That became quite viral on the internet, and people really enjoyed it, especially the fraternity brothers everywhere in America. Felt a little uncomfortable, I think. Well, another cornerstone of our new diversified merchandising program is our Martha Stewart Crafts line, which launched in spring 2007 at Michael's and independent craft stores everywhere. Our mission from the very outset was to establish a national brand in a market that didn't really have one. What we did have was a lot of ideas and credibility in the space. Crafting is a core content area, as I told you, in our magazines, on our websites, and on our television shows. It's also the subject of several best-selling books. We are not just selling crafts products. We are ourselves crafters. Consumers understand that, and they responded. In the past year, we've expanded distribution to Joann Fabrics and Crafts and 56 countries overseas and counting. Home shopping has also been a terrific sales forum for our crafts line. Alex Peruzzi, who manages our crafts business, is practically a cult figure on QVC in the UK. And just last month, actually last week, I appeared with him on HSN for the second time. And midnight is apparently the magic hour for home shopping. Who knew? Even one of my housekeepers in Maine watched, and she just emailed me yesterday telling me she had just received the first of 4 shipments of craft punches, and she can't believe the quality. Now, she knows me, she knows what we make, and there she is buying on HSN and loving it. So to all the insomniacs in the world and all those other shoppers, but what HSN and QVC does for someone's product lines is send them directly to the retailers. If they miss a product, they go and look for it in the store. And I find it a very, very interesting and powerful way to introduce the viewing public, that viewing public that you don't really even know sometimes, to your own product lines. Today, we're widely recognized as the innovators in the $30 billion craft industry with products like our glitter and our innovative punches. We even have some patents pending on some of our punches. Since launching, we've sold over 3 million punches and nearly 7 million bottles, or 176 tons of glitter. And that doesn't include HSN's last week. With all of our merchandising product lines, we are very protective of our brand and what it represents to us and our customers. To that end, all of our extensions must meet specific criteria. It's a category, if it is a category where we've got equity, where would our customer expect to find us? Can we create a distinctly different or better product than what's currently available? Is it worth the investment of time and resources? Is the market large enough that in success this could move the needle for our company? The answer to those questions must be yes for us to pursue an opportunity. That was certainly the case with one of our newest partnerships, the Martha Stewart Living line of home improvement products at the Home Depot. Our relationship with the Home Depot is a natural fit. I have been a do-it-yourselfer, and all of my customers and readers and viewers know that I do it myself, and I've been doing it all my life. And for many years, our company has been a valuable resource for consumers seeking ideas and inspiration for their home improvement projects. That authenticity is so important. Consumers trust us. They have to trust us and our brand because they know that our offerings reflect our expertise and our experience. So I can really drive a bulldozer. I can really drive a 95 horsepower John Deere tractor. I can use a backhoe. I can use all the tools that Home Depot sells, pretty much. I'm not a great carpenter, but I can do simple carpentry projects. And I love to paint. So we launched in January 2010, pretty much just a year ago, with outdoor furniture, and have since expanded into paint, carpet, home decor, storage and organization, kitchens, holiday, gardening, and lots more. All of our products are practical, they're well-made and stylish, and one of our secrets is that many of the programs are color coordinated. So if you go to buy a carpet at the Home Depot, there's a little logo, a little symbol on the different paint colors that match up with the actual paint chips in the paint department, so that you can find a color of paint that matches the rug, that matches the draperies, that matches the other things in our line. And we're very, very proud of that coordination, and we get a lot of feedback from the Home Depot customers explaining and exclaiming that they have had success in decorating projects that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And those Ariconic colors, well, you can now find many of those beautiful shades mixed into 280 other beautiful colors in our Martha Stewart Living paint line right there at the Home Depot. The color palette is inspired by nature and all the things that I love: a vintage basket, porcelain plates, flowers, hand-dyed fabrics, and one of the most popular colors is the color of my French bulldog, Francesca. It's black. And it's really selling like crazy. Who would have thought a black paint would sell so well? It does at the Home Depot because people love to paint the windows. Muntin's black color, it looks really chic in an otherwise light-colored room. Doorways, outdoor projects, very interesting. We also offer 8-ounce pre-tinted testers with a built-in brush and 12 others of my favorite colors, which are changed seasonally. And we recently introduced a very interesting specialty a line of paints, specialty finishes, that transform a wall with dimension, texture, and light. And those paints are selling very well. Our paint palette provides the color inspiration for all our home decor products, and every home decor item matches at least one of our paint colors exactly, perfectly. Our kitchens, this is probably up till now. I mean, I like all our product lines at the Home Depot, but my favorite of all is the kitchens. We have 11 different kitchen styles presently being sold at the Home Depot. I think they're the best kitchens being manufactured in America right now. I think if you're thinking of renovating or restoring or putting in a new kitchen, you should really look at these because they are innovative, they have fine design, and the workmanship made in America is extraordinarily good. Many of these kitchens were inspired by my own kitchens. I happen to have, I think, maybe 13 kitchens, but, and also by kitchens of others who work at Martha Stewart Living, including our Chief Creative Officer, Gail Towie. The fact that our brand is strongly associated with cooking enhances the consumer's confidence in our offerings, and they know that we understand what makes the kitchen functional as well as beautiful. Like a growing number of retailers, including Macy's, the Home Depot has introduced QR or quick response codes. This new state-of-the-art mobile barcode program allows their customers to access useful product information in store, in print ads, and on signage before making a purchase. I'm really, really pleased that our partners have adopted many of these new technologies to aid the consumer. It is extremely important in this day and age. And, oh, we have a Home Depot QR code video to show you. Watch this. Using our publishing, our digital, and our broadcasting platforms, we're able to focus attention on new and interesting merchandising offerings. For instance, here you can see a story from our Living magazine. It features my kitchen at my farm in Bedford, which also has an which is also an inspiration for many of our kitchens at the Home Depot. This post from my blog is about a young couple's kitchen restoration using our Home Depot cabinetry, our countertops, and our hardware, which we sell at Home Depot. And here is an image from that same renovation, which was featured on the Martha Stewart Show on Hallmark Channel. So we're able to really show the success of such a project to many, many, many people. And it doesn't seem repetitious because each and every one of our media shows everything in a very different way. We also use social media to educate and inform consumers about our products. I'm very active on Twitter. I'm a good friend of Biz Stone, one of the founders, and last week I appeared on the Piers Morgan show on CNN with Biz, and another one, Jack Dorsey, who's the other co-founder, one of three tri-founders, I call them. And we had a very interesting conversation about Twitter. In fact, I've been tweeting during this conference, and I noticed that there are lots of other tweeters in this audience. Somebody even correcting me that I tweeted the same message about global retailing 3 times. I didn't know if it was going off. It didn't seem. I kept getting an error message on my BlackBerry in the front row here, but when I walked around the back, they all were sent at the same time. Forgive me, please. And fellow tweeters, I have my 2.2 million followers on Twitter right now. They are very responsive. I asked the question whether if they had any questions about global retailing, and many questions have been appearing here. Somebody liked the frat house makeover. Oh, somebody loved the Great Wall of China. So now I'm going to have to send out a picture of that Great Wall of China, because everybody else will be frustrated if I don't. I use Twitter very efficiently. I use it for research. I use it for getting out a piece of information about something that I would like a vast audience to know. I like to also connect with other fellow tweeters who have large numbers of followers, because then the message goes really viral. It's quite an amazing tool, and I think it is a very valuable tool for each and every one of us who wants to do that instantaneous research. I went to visit a grocery chain to talk about my home cleaning products. They were not tweeters. I tweeted and asked the question, would my followers buy the product if they were sold in this particular chain? Within a few seconds, I had hundreds of answers, some saying, yes, of course, some saying, we don't have that chain in our town, somebody from Japan saying, I don't have one of those stores in Japan, but I would love your product. So you get a really good overview, free, by the way, free, instantaneous, and good. It's a good tool, and I try to spend no longer than 5 minutes a day on my Twitter account, and it works. Some time ago, we were in discussion with a partner about launching the new pets product. I sent out a tweet about that too, asking if my followers shopped at PetSmart. And the response convinced me and the retailer that we were exactly on the right track. And we launched last summer our Martha Stewart Pets line at PetSmart using many, oh, thanks PetSmart, I know you're here. We love our line, apparel and toys and collars and leashes and dishes, feeding dishes and bedding. And we have lovely images on our television and in our magazine about the use of many of these products. We also have Pet Keeping with Mark Marone, which is growing in popularity on the Hallmark Channel. And Mark is just so knowledgeable about pets and pet keeping and can answer any complicated question from any consumer, child, adult, about their particular kind of pet, spiders even, and chinchillas and whatever. People keep a vast assortment of animals in their homes these days. And of course, we have the Daily Wag, a popular blog on marthastewart.com written from the perspective of my dogs, Francesca and Sharky and GK. And they're very talkative dogs, and they work very hard. They work at least 3 hours a day on their blog. And there they are. There's GK as a puppy. He's now 1 year old. He's quite an astonishing chow chow. But Francesca and Sharky are very popular, and we know what pets like and what keeps them comfortable and content. We try to make our products reflect that kind of knowledge. And every single item that we offer has been thoroughly tested and approved, as you can see here.
Is it true you personally tested every product in the Martha Stewart Pets collection?
I did. Want to try them out?
Okay. It's so plush.
With a waterproof liner.
Lid for storage. Nice. Soft.
And stylish. This is a terrific evening look.
Introducing Martha Stewart Pets, exclusively at PetSmart. Created and tested by Martha herself. PetSmart, we love to see healthy, happy pets.
We love doing those commercials, and they sell. People respond very, very nicely to the content, and they like the sense of humor, too. We have a lot of fun. And there are just, these are just 4 of the product lines in our new diversified merchandising portfolio. We now have 15 licensing partnerships with first-in-class retailers and manufacturers who share our commitment to beautifully designed, well-made products. The breadth and scope of our partnerships are as important as their number. Our offerings include environmentally safe cleaning products that we manufacture with Hain and Celestial Group, rugs with Safavieh, beautifully made, wonderfully designed floor coverings, carpet tiles with Floor, which are environmentally sound in construction, and customized destination weddings and craft camps at Sambles and Beaches resorts in the Bahamas. So if any of you are planning, you should look at those. They're really charming. And Darcy Miller has done a phenomenal job, our weddings director, with all of those amazing projects down at Sandals. We have craft paints with plaid, a forthcoming line of yarn and loom with Lion brand. We introduced the new loom, the new Martha Stewart loom, which knits. And the stuff that you can make on this loom is just extraordinary. On HSN, it sold out in 3 minutes. And that was the first indication that we know that we're onto something with this phenomenal loom. This does not require knitting needles. It just requires a little hook and these particularly set up pegs that you can set up in many, many different configurations. It's amazing. We love new inventions. And we also have actual homes that are manufactured and sold by KB Home, homes that we design, that we furnish, that we set up for sale. And we've come a long way since our first product launch 14 years ago. We're very excited about how our merchandising business has grown and evolved in that time and how it continues to evolve. And we're very, very excited about the building and the maintenance and the promotion of our strong Martha Stewart brands. It's an honor to be invited into our customers' homes, and it's A similar honor to be here with all of you today. I guess I can take some questions if we can turn up the lights. I can't see a thing up here so if there are questions. Some of you tweeters. There are microphones.
I'll ask one, Mark.
Okay, Terry Lundgren.
We talked about this, but you are such a fan of nature, and I know you got up early this morning to go out and see the cactus, and you're admiring the sunset last night, and so how do all the, you have all these interests. You have so many interests. How do you end up getting focused, as you obviously do with all these great, connections you've made with product?
Well, I like the things we designed for Macy's, the Martha Stewart collection. All of those reflect our very inherent interests in lifestyle and in the home. We can't live without our spatulas to turn over our eggs in the morning that the chickens lay down at the chicken coop. We can't live without the beautiful bedding that makes our beds. We can't live without the wonderful tableware that we sell at Macy's. And when you come and visit my homes, you'll see all this product. I try it all, as do so many of the people who work at Martha Stewart Living. We really are our best customers, and we really are our best editors. And Robin Marina, who's with me today, she will attest to the fact that we are always looking and trying trying to really center on our interests. So what the products that we have at the Home Depot, those are all products that we need and want, everything. And that's why Gordy says, I keep pushing them for more categories. But I do, because there's lots more categories in that store that I think we could do very well in. I think that our customers would love to have, some of, Martha Stewart flower pots, for example, the kinds of pots that I grow my plants in. So there's lots and lots of categories. It seems like we're in a lot of areas, but they are all really and truly centered on lifestyle, living, the home, the family. Hope that answers. Another question? Right there.
I have a question. Totally true story. Last night...
We can't hear you very well.
Sorry. I'm telling you a true story. Can you hear me now? Yeah? Last night, I was talking to my mother-in-law at about 9 o'clock at night. India is, 12 hours ahead. She wanted me to help me pick paint colors for what we would call a condo. They call a flat. Okay, so I decided, I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. She insists that I pick the colors, but I haven't been there in a few years. Anyway, I picked some colors, and I'm very happy. We have Copper Moon for their drawing room. What I'd like to know is, what's Martha Stewart going to do in India so that I can say, see, this is what I think, Martha Stewart agrees with me.
I wish I could tell you I heard everything you said, but it's a little hard up here to hear you. What would you say the last thing? What?
I would like to know what Martha Stewart is doing in India. Can you hear me? In India?
Oh, in India. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Well, we publish our Whole Living magazine in India. We are expanding internationally as we speak. We start with our media. We have television programming available in India and all over the world. We're in 85 different countries with the Martha Stewart program. Mark Marone, the other day, Mark called me on Sunday to tell me that he had just gotten a call from Taiwan saying that they had been watching his program in Taiwan. So it's all over the world that we are expanding, first visually with our media, and then with our product. And we're in discussions as we speak with the development of certain product lines in other countries. So paints, she'll be able to get paints one of these days. Yes. Well, each company that we work with is unique. And each company has a specific message. Macy's has its message, the Home Depot has its messaging, and we work very closely if and when we do a commercial to work with the creative teams and the merchant teams at the retailer to come up with an ad like the ones you saw that will inspire and inform and have a sense of humor also.
So those are the words: inspire, inform, humor. That's kind of consistent with your
Oh,
agency
very
partners?
consistent. That whole frat house thing was ad-libbed. Those were
Really?
my words. They told me what they sort of wanted, and I just went in there. I mean, it was a disgusting place, and those boys were horrible. And I'm just kidding. And it was so funny because then I go and do my PetSmart commercial like a year later or 9 months later, and one of those boys was hired as an extra in the PetSmart commercial, and I recognized him right away. It was the guy who said I smelled so good, that guy, and he was kind of embarrassed about his performance in the Macy's, but we all have a good time. That's the funnest thing to do.
No, they do a great job of capturing you, but still tying you to the product, and
exactly.
it's consistent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Martha. Kathleen with Brilliant Baby Products. Love your presentation, and the thing that was most evident was your passion about what you do. My question to you is, back before you had your empire, what was that one thing that allowed you to go from pure passion to the empire you have today?
It's called HW. You know what that is? Hard work. Unrelenting hard work. No, it's very important. I mean, you can have all the passion in the world, but if you're lazy, forget it. And the other thing is to really find people to work with that share your passion, share your fervor, share your artistic vision. And the new companies that are emerging now, especially in the social media world, all of those companies have that in common. They have like people working with them to make things happen rapidly. Now, those social media and the software programs like a Facebook or a Twitter, it's fun to see them grow, but it's also fun to see if they can stay together. And that's really what's important. In my company, we have a 10th anniversary dinner every year for everybody who's worked with the company for 10 years or longer, and that just grows every year. We had our dinner about a month and a half ago, and there were more than 95 people at the dinner that have been with me for the 20 years that Martha Stewart Living has been in operation, and that's fantastic. Out of a workforce of about 600.
Martha,
Yes.
you spoke of how you transitioned from
Hold it closer because it's really.
You spoke of how you transitioned from catalogs to bricks and mortar, and how the bricks and mortar have really, and the big box stores have really grown the empire. You didn't really address, and I'm not clear on how the e-tail side of your business is evolving and how that works.
The digital business?
Or the e-commerce.
E-commerce. Well, what's happening is at Macy's, what an extraordinary explosion of interest in the e-commerce business. I'm not at liberty to tell you the numbers, but Terry might be able to answer those questions better, but unbelievable growth in our e-commerce business for our products and other products at Macy's. The same with the Home Depot. Home Depot has a very, very active e-commerce business. They own a catalog called Home Decorators, which is was a small business even a year ago, and it's growing rapidly and is very popular with beautiful product. It's an extraordinary happening in the United States and elsewhere that people are shopping online. It's easy, it's convenient, it's universal. No matter where you live, you can get the great stuff if you order online. So it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen. And the challenge, I think, for retailers is to keep the stores very, very interesting and keep new and innovative products appearing in the stores as they grow their e-commerce business. You agree with me, Terry? Totally agreed with Terry. What about Gordy? Totally agree. Good. Oh, thank God. My partners agree. Any other questions?
Hi, Martha. I just had two quick things. I was going to tweet two pictures of my two Pomeranians that have matching sweaters, Dolce and Gabbana, and they love their sweaters that we got from PetSmart. The other thing is I don't know if you would mind sharing, but you're obviously very selective about what partnerships you venture off with. Have there ever been, well, I'm sure there's been plenty, but people who have approached you where it's just been an obvious no that you would not partner with?
Oh yeah. Everything has to be determined whether it's going to work or not work. The Kmart thing came to an end. Our contract was ending, and the stores had changed hands, and it was just not the right move for the future. And how fortunate we were to work now with Macy's and the Home Depot. What a great move for the future of our company. And we had to wait for 2 years to make up the shortfall. We had a good contract with Kmart, but lots of things come to an end. So, and in terms of other proposals, oh yeah, we get proposals all the time for sometimes interesting things that I would, I'd like to, if I had more time, do, but many of them don't really fit in within the strategy of the company for the future.
Hi, Martha.
I won't tell you some of the gory ones.
Hi, Martha. Back here, student section. To your right.
Oh yeah,
back
there you
here.
are.
Hi. Okay. My question for you is, with Martha Stewart being such a large brand and having so many outlets where you partake in, how do you keep the customer engaged without being overexposed to the brand? And how do you make a brand that's based on a wonderful lifestyle still be self-expression to the customer?
So if I don't know if I heard every single thing. How do we keep it vibrant?
Right, and how you keep the customer engaged without being overexposed.
Oh, okay. Well, again, the move from network television, we were on NBC, to cable was a bold and scary move, okay? Because does everybody have the Hallmark Channel in their homes? Is the Hallmark Channel a popular channel? Is the audience similar, or do we have to bring our audience, inform our audience from NBC that we're going to move over to another channel? It is happening. It didn't happen overnight. We started in September, and our ratings are increasing each and every day, so we're happy about that. But again, it was a big move for us to move to an unknown. And yet, I think it will work out in the near term and in the long term for us. And you have to work with your partners really, really, almost daily to make sure that happens. As far as overexposure, you know what? I don't think good can be overexposed. I don't think great products can be overexposed. Look at the other strong brands that exist in the world. They are everywhere, and nobody's complaining that there's too much Ralph Lauren. Nobody's complaining that there's too much Calvin Klein underwear. They just don't. So I think it's managing the final result, which is the quality and the beauty of the product. If that persists and always is there, then you're going to always have a strong and likable brand. Yes, anything else?
I'm here with a group of high school teachers that are from Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, there you are,
Right
okay.
here. And I want to thank you for your presentation. I currently teach marketing. We have retail, we have interior design. And I wondered if your company had ever thought about partnering with schools or programs, creating curriculum, working on contests to get out there, because we create a lot of projects, but we try, just as the universities do, to provide our students with real world experiences. We want to show them what you just showed us, what you created, and try to inspire them, but sometimes it's really difficult. So I wondered if you had any of those plans.
Well, I think I'm a natural teacher, and I have been in conversations with several adult education online courses, schools that teach online, to develop a program that would, and again, I wish I had more time personally to do all of this, but I know that what we could teach in a marketing course would be invaluable. What we could teach in terms of homekeeping. I wrote a book a couple years ago. It came out. It's an encyclopedia called the Homekeeping Handbook. If I could teach that course online to homemakers and housekeepers all over the world, they would know everything they need to know to be a really superior housekeeper. And we all need somebody to come in and clean our house once a week or every day or whatever. To me, that is an invaluable course. The same with our cooking expertise, to be able to do cooking school, the Martha Stewart Cooking School online. It's a little bit slower in the lifestyle branding than in very specific subject matters like your marketing or your retailing 101 that you can teach online. But I think there is a future for that, and I think that we will be involved in that. Thank you. And I also have developed a program for children called Every Day After School, where we guide children via their computer or their television through projects that actually teach them something when they're home alone without their moms there who are still at work. We could teach those kids a tremendous amount, and many teachers have talked to me about it and agreed with me that that would be an invaluable tool. So we are thinking about that.
Martha, one quick question. You mentioned with all your brands and there's an overall quality talking to the consumers. How do you talk to your consumers in different segments? With the new census that came out with Hispanics, how does the marketing plan work that way?
Well, as I said, the customer is our most valuable asset. We want to nurture that customer. We get over 1 million pieces of correspondence from our customers every year. Via phone calls, emails, letters. We answer all of that. We have a very active letters department. If there is a problem, if there is a compliment, if there is a suggestion, it is disseminated throughout the company to the correct location and answered and dealt with. That's very important in any modern business. And if it has to do with one of our partners, we try to take care of it in our house as well as send it off to our partners so that they can also deal with whatever challenge it is. That's number one very, very important thing. We're lucky because we do have this omnimedia platform. We have a very active website with many unique visitors, millions of unique visitors and users. My blog reached last month, we had over 9.5 million page views just for the Martha Stewart blog, which is just a tiny part of our vast website. Francesca and Sharky, the two dogs, they reached something like 5 million. They had 5 million page views last month. That's a lot for two dogs. And but what I have tried to teach everybody else who's blogging in our company, that content is king. People come to us not just for a celebrity viewing or a little piece of a tidbit of gossip. They come to us for actual information. And when Terry said I went out this morning I went to the Saguaro National Park to photograph all the cactus, the different kinds of cactus. I'll do a blog on that and show the views and show how beautiful Tucson is early morning or late at night. And that blog will inspire people to maybe get in their car and take a car trip instead of moaning and groaning that they can't afford this or that. There's a lot of stuff that we do like that every day that really is educational. So that educational kind of connection with our customer is also terribly important.
Hello, Martha.
Hi.
Over to your right. Over here.
Oh, there. Oh, hi.
Hi. I'm a student majoring in retail merchandising and management.
Talk closer into the mic.
At the University of Wisconsin Stout. And you had mentioned earlier about internships. Can you elaborate more on that and the different options you have?
Yes. Well, this year we got 384 applications for internships, and we have a program of about 85 interns. We try to place those interns that come. They're college students. Every now and then, like a very, very talented high schooler somehow gets into the program. We had one, I said, gosh, you look so young. He says, yeah, I'm 14. And he was so good at his job. He worked in the decorating department, and his mother was a decorator, and he was just really into the subject matter. But so he stayed. But he couldn't be paid. He couldn't be paid. He came as a visitor. But we do have an active intern program, and Robin and I were talking last night that we will be talking to your placement office here at the university to let them know more about our internship program. We don't want to steal too many people from Gordy and from Terry, though. One more question. Okay, one more question. Oh, is that the bell? I hear chimes. Is there one more? That's it. Well, thank you all very, very much. I hope I was helpful.